There was a man named Marcus. Nothing about him stood out at first glance. He had an average appearance, an ordinary job, no expensive car, and certainly no sculpted six-pack. Yet every woman he spoke with seemed to lean in a little closer, laugh a little louder, and linger just a bit longer. His friends couldn't make sense of it. Finally, one evening, one of them asked, "What exactly are you saying to them?" Marcus simply smiled and replied with two words. And once you hear those words, you'll never approach a conversation the same way again. Welcome back. If you're new here, this channel is dedicated to one thing: understanding the real psychology behind human behavior, so you can stop guessing and start understanding. Today, we're exploring something that sounds almost unbelievably simple, yet it's supported by decades of psychological research. Just two words, that's all it takes. Two words that, when used correctly, can reshape the way a woman perceives you on a subconscious level. Stay with me, because most men never discover this, and the few who do rarely go back to the way they used to communicate. Let's begin with the biggest misconception many men believe. The story goes like this. Attraction is all about looks, money, or social status. Build the perfect body, make a fortune, become famous, and women will naturally be drawn to you. While those things can certainly help, the research paints a very different picture. In a landmark study conducted by psychologist Dr. Arthur Aron at Stony Brook University, researchers discovered that deep, lasting attraction isn't primarily driven by physical appearance. Instead, it's fueled by a particular emotional experience. At its core, attraction is a feeling, and feelings are created through words, emotions, and behavior, not through bank balances. In fact, a 2019 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that women across every age group consistently rated emotional intelligence and psychological confidence as more attractive than physical appearance alone. So if you've spent years building your physique while completely ignoring your conversational skills and emotional awareness, you've only built half the foundation. Now here's where things become truly interesting. The human brain, and especially the female brain, which is naturally wired for deeper emotional and social processing, responds strongly to what psychologists call emotional anchoring. Emotional anchoring is the process by which a certain word, phrase, or experience becomes connected to a powerful emotional response. Advertisers understand it, therapists use it, and the most charismatic people often do it naturally without even realizing it. Think about hearing a song from your childhood. You don't simply remember the moment, you actually feel it all over again. That's emotional anchoring at work. Now imagine creating that same emotional effect in another person through only two carefully timed words. That's not manipulation. It's simply understanding how the human mind operates and using that knowledge to build a deeper connection. Now, you've waited long enough. Here they are, the two words. The two words are, "You noticed." Before you dismiss them as being too simple, stay with me, because when and how you use these words changes everything. Here's the psychology behind them. When you say "you noticed" to a woman in the right moment, three psychological processes happen at once. First, you validate her perception. Women naturally appreciate feeling understood and recognized. When you acknowledge something she has observed, her brain experiences a small release of dopamine. She feels intelligent, she feels seen, she feels connected. Second, you present yourself as someone who is socially perceptive. You're not merely responding, you're recognizing that she noticed something about you. That level of awareness communicates emotional intelligence, confidence, and maturity. Those qualities are deeply attractive. Third, you create a shared psychological moment. For a brief instant, the two of you share an understanding that belongs only to both of you. That tiny shared experience becomes the beginning of intimacy. Let's put this into a real-world example. Imagine you're talking with a woman and she says, "I feel like you're different from most guys I've met."
Most men immediately become uncomfortable. They answer with something like, "Really?" or "Haha, thanks," or even worse, they start explaining themselves. But you don't. Instead, you pause, maintain steady eye contact, smile slightly, then calmly say, "You noticed." That's all. Just 2 words, delivered with quiet confidence. Watch how her energy shifts. Her smile changes. She naturally leans in. Her brain has just received a subtle signal. This man is comfortable with himself. He's aware, he's confident, and he's interesting. Now, here's the important part.